Now, when I hear that phrase, I don't just understand it. I remember the girl in the story. And I remember how brave I felt reading it. I also found some beginner biographies, short books about real people, about teachers, doctors, athletes, singers. Their stories inspired me. They had difficult lives, but they kept going. They used simple English to tell big stories. That made me believe in myself. I thought, if they can do it, maybe I can too. I want you to remember this. Don't choose the biggest book. Choose the book that speaks to you, even if it's short, even if it's made for children. If it helps you learn, if it helps you feel, then it's the right book for you. Don't listen to people who laugh at simple books. Those books build your foundation, and a strong foundation is everything. These favorite books of mine are more than just stories. They are part of my journey. They helped me learn slowly, with love, not pressure. And if you are starting now, I hope you find books like these. Books that make you feel brave, just like they made me. After reading so many beautiful stories and finding the books that felt right for me, I finally understood what worked and what didn't. I had tried many things in the beginning. Long grammar lessons, hard vocabulary lists, watching movies without subtitles, but I always came back to books. Books gave me time. They gave me space. They gave me peace. And more than anything, they gave me progress. So I decided to build a reading plan for myself. A plan that was small but strong. It was simple, but it worked. Every day I followed 6 easy steps. The first step was to choose a book that matched my level. Not too hard, not too easy. I picked books with pictures or short stories made for learners. This made me feel safe. The second step was to read only 1 page slowly. I didn't rush. I didn't try to finish the whole book in a day, just 1 page. I read it aloud, with feeling. I let the words sit in my mouth. I felt the rhythm. The third step was to repeat the page. I read the same lines 2 or 3 times. I didn't feel bored, because each time I saw something new. A word I missed. A sound I could say better. Repeating helped me remember without pressure. The fourth step was to write down 1 or 2 sentences in my notebook, either from the book or something I made on my own using the same words. Writing helped me think. It helped me create. The 5th step was to speak from the page. I would close the book and try to say 1 or 2 lines from memory. I didn't worry about mistakes. I just tried. I used my voice. I made the words mine. And the last step, the most important, was to feel the story. I didn't treat reading like homework. I read like I was meeting a new friend. I smiled with the happy lines. I felt quiet during the sad ones. Feeling the story made it stay in my heart. This was my reading plan. A simple plan, but it changed my life. I didn't spend hours studying. I didn't need to be perfect. I just needed to follow these small steps every day, and little by little, I changed. My reading became easier. My speaking became more natural. My thinking started to happen in English. I didn't even notice when the change began. But one day, I was reading a story, and I realized I wasn't translating. I was just understanding. And that moment made me stop and smile. My plan had worked. And if it worked for me, I believe it can work for anyone. You don't need a big method. You need a small habit, a quiet voice, a little courage, and a book that makes you feel something. That's all. That's enough. When I look back now, I see how far I've come. I started with fear. I started with silence. I couldn't say a single English sentence. I was afraid to speak. I couldn't understand cartoons or songs or stories. I felt lost. I felt outside the world of English. But one day, I picked up a small book with a picture. And that one small step changed everything. I didn't have a big plan at the beginning. I didn't even know if it would work. But I stayed with that book. I read it again and again. I repeated the lines. I wrote them down. I spoke them out loud. I talked to the page like it was my friend. I chose stories that made me feel something. I built a small reading habit. I followed a simple plan. And most important, I didn't stop. Even when it was hard. Even when I felt slow. Even when others moved faster than me. I didn't stop. And now, I can read. I can speak. I can even tell my story in English. And I tell it not to show how smart I am. I tell it to show you something. If I can do it, so can you. Maybe today you feel scared. Maybe you think English is too hard. Maybe you tried before and gave up. But I want to tell you, your story is not over. It can begin today. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to know everything. You just need to choose one small book. Read one small page. Speak one small sentence. Write one small line. Feel one small emotion. And repeat. That's how your story will grow. That's how your voice will come to life. You don't need a classroom. You don't need expensive courses. You need courage. You need honesty. You need to start small and stay with it. And if you stay, the results will come. One day, you will look back and say, "Now I speak well. I can talk with friends. I can read books. I can write sentences. It was not easy, but I did it." And that day will come sooner than you think. Just start. Start with a book. Start with a smile. Start with your own heart. Because your English story is waiting to be written, and only you can write it. If this video touched your heart, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Comment below. What book will you start reading today? I'll be reading your comments, and I'd love to see your first English sentence there. You can do this. Your story starts now.